Squid Game Season 3 ends with a mix of heartbreak, closure, and the eerie promise that this twisted cycle isn't over, not by a long shot. At its core, the season was about Gi-hoon being forced back into the nightmare he tried to stop. By the finale, he's got a baby in his arms, 5 minutes on the clock, and one last game standing between him and a massive pile of money. The setup's brutal. Player 333 tries to manipulate the rules and forces Gi-hoon into a moral standoff. The baby becomes a pawn. When Gi-hoon realizes player 333 is ready to kill the child to win, it turns into a fight for something much deeper than money. It's about saving what little humanity is left in this twisted game. Gi-hoon ultimately makes the most selfless move. He sacrifices himself rather than kill the baby, proving once and for all that they are not animals to be used for sport. His final words, "We are not horses, we are humans," drive the point home. And it's that moment, that final refusal to play by their rules, that shatters the illusion of control and inspires others like Guard 11 to reconsider their own paths. Guard 11 had a wild arc this season. We learned she was a North Korean defector, a performer, and a mother who lost everything. In the finale, she is seconds away from taking her own life, sitting in a burning office after watching the system chew up another soul. But then she hears Gi-hoon's sacrifice. She sees the baby screaming, and she stops. By the end of the season, she's no longer a silent cog in the machine. She escapes the island as the whole operation goes up in flames, gets a call about a possible lead on her daughter in China, and boards a plane to finally chase that last sliver of hope. Junho makes it back into the game in full undercover mode. He's driven by his obsession to destroy the organization and find out the truth about his brother, In-ho, the frontman. Junho sees his brother In-ho holding the baby at the end and asks why he did it, but In-ho doesn't offer much. He just rides the elevator down and vanishes. Junho barely escapes the island's self-destruct sequence and later finds the baby safe in his apartment, wrapped in player 222's jacket. There is a black envelope waiting for him, saying player 222 winner, and a bank card loaded with 45.6 billion won. Woo-seok gets released from jail and wants to turn the Pink Motel, where Gi-hoon hid the prize money, into something better, not knowing the money's already gone, but who took it. After Gi-hoon dies, the frontman shows up at his daughter Ga-young's house in LA to hand over what's left of him. Still in his signature black suit, he brings her that familiar black box with the game's shapes on top. At first, she thinks it's just another empty gesture from her dad, who was never really around, but then the frontman breaks the news: Gi-hoon is gone, and these are his last things. Inside the box is his bloodied player 456 jacket and a black envelope with a bank card made out to her. Turns out the frontman decided to give Gi-hoon's money, still sitting in that motel room, directly to his daughter. Perhaps he did it out of some twisted sense of closure or honor and decided to ensure Gi-hoon's fortune, left untouched in his motel room, reaches his daughter after his death. It's a brutal yet symbolic transfer, the price of survival passed down, even if the survivor himself couldn't make peace with it. Just when you think maybe it's all done, that final scene hits. The frontman is stuck in traffic when he spots a woman in a suit playing dakji, that same recruiting game from season 1. She wins, slaps her target, and gives a knowing smirk to the frontman. She's a recruiter. The game goes on. The machine doesn't stop, even with Gi-hoon dead, the island torched, and the truth starting to leak out. There's always another player, another recruiter, another season of pain. Gi-hoon didn't win this time, not in the traditional sense. He lost the game, lost his life, and never made it out. But he did save a life, he kept his promise, and maybe that's the only kind of win that matters in a game that's rigged to strip people of their humanity. The island's gone, but the organization, it's still breathing, quiet, hidden, rebuilding. Frontmen's still in charge, recruiters are still doing their thing, and someone might just be the one to take them down next. Because the game never ends. Not really.